They're back. The school year is over. Those college kids, they are home for the summer.
Yes, they are. Parents and their grown kids bound. It's inevitable to butt heads a little bit this summer. But therapist Julie Hanks says there are ways to avoid clashes and enjoy the summer together. Readjusting to life with those older kids home, that's not easy.
It is not easy at all. And the number one hot topic where parents and kids butt heads is curfew. And do they have a curfew? Do they not? They've been away at college. They've been able to come home whatever at any time that they want. A friend of mine was just lamenting about this, saying, I can't sleep unless everybody's at home safe. And I said, you've slept for the last 9 months not knowing where they are. Like, get over it. That's your deal. So a tip to kind of start off with is it's really important to address these hot topics head on ASAP. Don't wait till it blows up. So a cute niece of mine who's now an adult said the first time she came home from college, she was up, all night, and her dad, who's really mild-mannered, blew up. Like, what are you doing? And they hadn't ever talked about it, and she thought, I have no curfew. And he's like, well, things should be the way they were. Not so. So talk about it. Come to an agreement. There's really no right way to negotiate it. I mean, my personal opinion is, once they're on their own, you don't need to have a curfew. But you can have house rules. Like, our house is locked after 2 o'clock. So 2 a.m. So if you're out past then, come home.
Now, see, I have a problem. If I'm the parent and my kid who's been in my house and I've been raising them and they've had a curfew to 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, whatever like that, and they go away to college, just because they've been away to college doesn't change anything. They're still a kid living in my house, and if I want to have a curfew that they're going to be home at 12 or 1, I can still impose that, can't I?
You can, but you
can't I have expectations that they will still live by those rules?
You can, but they probably won't. They're not a kid anymore, they're an adult. And so you have to negotiate that with each family, but I think it's unrealistic to have the same curfew for a 16-year-old as for an 18 or 19-year-old. Part of growing up is being able to have more and more say in your own life. And with that also comes responsibility, too. It's not just mooch off mom and dad, do whatever you want and stay out all night, right? So there's some give and take there.
I like the idea, though, of framing it, regardless of what works for your family, as house rules. These are house rules because it's your house, whether they're an adult or not.
Right. We're not wanting to control you, but we get to control the environment because it's our house. We pay for it. We pay the mortgage.
Speaking of paying for it, chores and money, another biggie.
Chores and money, huge. So how much do you have your college-age kid pay for? How much do they contribute to the household? So that's a big one. A Facebook friend of mine had some really good advice about this, and she said, we still pay for the necessities, but any extras are their job, their responsibility. So entertainment, clothes, they pay for shelter and food, right? The rest you take care of, and that's an incentive for your child to get a job. Would there ever be a case when a parent should charge rent to a kid coming home for the summer? I've heard of successful situations with that. So I think, again, you want to treat them as an adult, and with that comes responsibility. The problem comes when the adult child wants to be treated like a kid when it's convenient for them. Get the benefits, right, without the responsibility. And people feel better about themselves when they're being productive and contributing. So in terms of self-esteem, it's good to require something.
Relating to the chores and money, I like your wording on this particular piece of advice. Focus on your boundaries, not theirs.
Right. So you decide as the parent what you will and will not do. So yeah, I'm not doing laundry, or I'm not cooking family dinners you're on your own, or whatever you decide, instead of trying to control them. Get your laundry done. Pick up your stuff. You just decide what you will and will not do.
That means mom might have to deal, though, with a dirty room. I mean, if she's going to set that boundary, right, she's going to have to swallow maybe the clothes on the floor.
Right.
Darren doesn't like that idea.
Yeah. But then again, if they run out of clothes, they run out of clothes. They're an adult. They're going to live by whatever the
One thing I keep saying, life is a better teacher than a parent at that point. It's like, let life, oh, really? You don't have any clean underwear? I'm so sorry. It's like that's a natural.
I do because I did the laundry.
Right, and I have mine, but feel free to get yours. Take care of it yourself.
I like just the silent smile. That goes so far, doesn't it?
You just nod, yeah.
Let me jump to an area of time management, because kids come home, they've been used to being on their own, managing their own time, and now they're living in your home, and they waste time, or they watch TV or whatever.
Or Xbox, or technology. That's another thing. And actually, last summer, with sleeping in and playing Xbox too much were big topics in my household, and I had to just, it was so hard for me to bite my tongue. So you want them to learn how to manage their time, and it's really, really tough. A friend of mine, she said, you know, she's like, okay, they've been on their own for so long, you can't micromanage their time either. So the suggestion is to reflect, not direct. So if they're sleeping until noon, instead of saying, get out of bed, you lazy, you know, you say, wow, you must be really tired. You needed a lot of sleep, right?
So you're reflecting their behavior.
You're reflecting it back instead of telling them what to do. So hard. So hard. So with my son, we set up some specific things he was responsible for to pay for, like gas and car insurance, and so he had to work. So if he wanted to spend all of his free time playing Xbox, he got to, but then he had to, you know, go to work when it was time.
Get out the door. And
right. Oh, it's painful, you guys. It's painful. I can feel adult kids stuff is painful.
What about family time? Summer is a time I know a lot of parents cash in on, and they count on that quality family time to build memories. Can you force your college kid to attend activities or reunions?
You know, you can, but unsuccessfully. Yeah. I think the best tip is to invite, but don't expect. So there's family reunions coming up. There's, you know, Sunday dinner at grandma's. There's family dinner time. I read this great quote online about this. It said, treat your child like a foreign exchange student. Expect them to participate in some of your quaint traditions of your family, and also be open to learning from them. So your college kid may have learned how to, you know, decided they're vegan now, right? So they're going to make a vegan meal for you, and they have to come to Sunday dinner at grandma's. So you kind of have it be this give and take, and I thought that was really great advice.
See, I disagree with that wholly. I don't think.
You get to.
And I do. I can make my rules for my kids in their house.
You totally can.
But if they're a foreign exchange student, I let them still do what they want to do. But if they're still a kid in my house, I still think that I'm responsible for them.
You are. But how successful do you think you're going to be forcing them to participate?
If they're living in my house and I'm buying them food, I'm gonna be making some of those rules.
There you go.
Darren's kids are going to want to come and live with me.
Come with you.
We're like, Julie, any spare rooms?
We're going to tell you, Julie's got some more items, things we didn't even get to, but more tips in her article. It's online. How to avoid college kid clashes. It's all on our website, studio5.ksl.com. I'm dreading this, though, you know. It's coming around the corner.
Julie. Good to see you.
Good to see you.